We're not having much luck. Mr. McCarthy, I can see you, so please go ahead. If you could introduce yourself as well. Yes, if you could introduce yourself. Thank you.
Thank you. It's Danica McCarthy from The Independent London. My question is, in the light of today's disastrous emissions gap, the International Energy Agency said we should have an immediate ban on all fossil fuel investments, coal, gas and oil from this year, if we're to achieve net zero 2020. So my question is, why is UNDP or the Secretary General not calling on the COP to implement the IEA ban on all new investments in fossil fuels? Thank you.
If I may, I think what we are saying here is that we just step out and step down from hydrocarbons, and that we need to also figure out how we are making that transition. And what that will entail is to avoid that we have energy shortages, as we are seeing in some places now, is that we enable proactive engagement for investment in renewable. And that is done by government policies, and that is done by incentivizing, and that is done by banks leaning in and by ensuring that we have these longer term investments. At this point, calling for an end for certain fossil fuel investments is, of course, a clear call from IEA when they look at the trajectory, and we understand that. However, we are in that process of transition, and right now what we want to see is clarity in the NDCs and clarity in the net zero commitments that have been made, so that there is no fudging and no vagueness around what the promises are. And further, as we heard from the Secretary General, we are not doing ourselves a favor by kicking the net zero can down the road to 2050. We need to see real action between now and 2030. That's what we're calling for at the COP.
Is that not a fudge by you?
I think if the time when we have the opportunity to turn off all fossil fuel and everyone still has lightings and the hospitals are still working, I think at that point, indeed, yes. But right now, we're not seeing the investments, which we have to see. And so the imperative now is on focusing on investing in the three sectors that are the carbon emitters. It is energy, it is transport, and it is infrastructure and buildings in cities. These are the three sectors that we're focusing on, and these are the three sectors that need to make these shifts.
Thank you.
But if we invest $5 trillion in new fossil fuels, what hope have we got of net zero?
Stefan, do you want me to come back? I can come back, but we can take it into a dialogue.
Yeah, exactly. Let's move on. Hilde de Wachter from EcoTips.